What do you think? Does it look like Daddy?
Camera crew's got hiccups. All right, next update. This is number 19. It's been a while since I posted an update video. I've had a lot going on in life. We had another child, started a small business, and we had a pretty scorching hot summer here in Texas, so I haven't really wanted to be working out, laying on my hot asphalt and stuff like that. But I did use the truck a lot, and I have a lot of catching up to do. Completed this update here, so without dragging my feet anymore, get it moving. And here's the next thing going on the truck. It's actually two of them. I got a pair of these Buyer's toolboxes. I don't remember the exact model number, but as always, I have a link down in the description to where I got these. I already have done some work because I wanted to make sure that they were going to work on the truck. Went over to a friend's and used a plasma cutter and cut channels in the back. And then did a hole saw to match up with a certain area. Used a wire wheel. And I'm going to weld a little piece of angle iron right here so that it fills in the gap. And what that's going to do is it's going to tuck perfectly on each side of the truck right here between the rear lift bracket, the panel stowage. You can kind of see where the rough pencil marks are, and then there's some green paint on that rivet nut bolt type thing or whatever you want to call it. And the reason why that slot was cut, the toolbox could slide back, basically hang on that piece of angle iron, and the hole was drilled to go around that bolt. And I've removed lifting brackets since then, but I'm pretty sure that these toolboxes will actually still fit. And what you'd need to do if you wanted to maintain those is drill an extra hole just so you could access this retainer bolt if you still wanted to from the inside. And all this will still clear. There's like the little bracket with the chain. You may need to like bend it a little bit, but it should squeeze in there anyway. Yeah, so just gonna kind of work at putting these on. Had to change my plan slightly here. I goofed. After welding the tabs on the bottom of both sides, what the goal was, I mismeasured the thickness of the angle iron, and what that was supposed to do was fill in the gap for the standoff of the angle iron. So you figure it's like this, and then it comes down. And then what was happening is you needed to fill in the gap right here so that I was gonna have a place to bead a weld here, here, and then from the inside on the angle iron. Put these on and it still came up short. What I decided to do instead of finding scrap metal and welding on top of it was drill 4 holes and use some stainless hardware from my generators that I have a ton of. And this fills it perfectly. Then I put some extra 1/2-inch holes. And basically what I'm gonna do is only weld the toolbox up here. I'm gonna weld it around the nut in these 3 other smaller holes and then put some beads from the inside, and then if I can access it on the outside here. And then it's just gonna kinda rest against these at the bottom. That way it'll actually give it a little flexibility too. So if the 2 parts of the truck flex a little bit with this welded, it won't break the welds. Does it flex? I don't know. Trucks flex. Some people say truck don't flex. It does. Hopefully this will work. I can't believe I goofed on this. I'm really disappointed in myself.
You can go to work. Good job.
All right, it's all sealed up back here. Both sides are finished up now, and they've actually been on the truck for a while. And they're up there very secure. Everything worked out awesome according to plan. No water is intruded in there. I'm using the one that's on the driver's side as sort of like my spare toolkit. I got my bottle jack in there. This bag has that Robo Tools Impact. I got like a little breaker bar, an extra strap for tying stuff down, and some other odds and ends stuff in there. Then this side is the winch kit. And I got my Skookum that I changed out. It is the one that should have come with the truck snatch block. It's a little bit easier to use. And another bag that's just got all kinds of stuff for winching, gloves, and everything like that. I'm really happy with how these came out. And once they're painted, they just fit up in there, and they utilize the space really well. Another nice little upgrade complete. All right, next up is gonna be, I'm taking my spare that I put on a few videos ago, and I'm gonna swap it on to my rear driver's side. Reason being is I realize the wheel itself is bent. You can kind of see it in this clip right here. I was messing around and I put my action camera underneath the truck, and you can kind of see it wobbling back and forth. It's not horrible, and the truck actually drives pretty smooth. I'd rather have this be a spare since I have a brand new wheel and tire up on the truck with the same date codes as all these tires. The only issue is that one up there does not have any balance beads in it. When I get it down, I'm gonna have to break the rim apart. I'll put a new O-ring in there and put some balance beads in there. And then since I'd planned to switch them out anyway, I have some of them are brand new and some of them were almost brand new. But I rebuilt them, wheel valve assemblies. So I'm gonna swap the wheel valve assemblies on these two wheels. So I'll share a link on breaking a wheel apart and changing the tire. The video I already did in the description. Otherwise, it's pretty much just gonna be you guys watching me work and fast forward a little bit. All right, for tools, I'm not gonna go really in depth, but the big bead breaker, I'll share the link to that again. Something to pry the tire up so I could sneak the balance beads in there. 21 ounces of these balance beads. I'm replacing that O-ring. 15/16. It's got to be a deep socket. Thread chaser if your threads are really dirty. Some adjustables, a pick, valve stem tool, O-ring grease, 38 millimeter lug nuts, 6 mil for the wheel valve assembly, 7/8 banjo bolt. I got this fancy gizmo here that you set to a pressure and you can walk away and let your compressor fill up. I was really impressed with this 28 volt impact. If you guys get the opportunity to get one of these, this is the bigger version. They have a smaller one that's meant for the Humvee. Robo Tools makes these. I actually got this from one of the places I get a lot of my surplus stuff from. My friend David, who owns Armed Forces Supply. Got this from him on one of my many trades with stuff from him. He gets these from time to time. So if you're local to San Antonio area, you could reach out to him over in Converse. See if he's got any of these. He gets a lot of FMTV parts too. All right, gonna take the truck out for a test drive since putting that new straightened wheel out. And first, make sure there's nothing worse. And to get those balance beads a little settled in and see if it makes a difference in the drivability of the truck. I can already tell looking out at the mirror, I can see that there's no more left to right wobble in the tire. I don't know if it feels better, but it's not vibrating or anything out of control. All right, road test was okay. So another thing, better on the truck. And I did do a full cycle of the CTIS off camera and brought it all the way down to emergency and backup and all the different settings, and it's good. Next thing I'm going to work on here is I've had an intermittent problem with the parking brake releasing slowly, and I had a couple times where it actually got stuck. Could be a lot of things. In the past, if you've watched all the videos, I have already replaced the release valve. I know that my drums and everything are good in the back. It's not that. And it was happening here in the summer. If you put the cab up, getting in here with the camera is a little tricky. You can see you got these three little valves here, but I'm just gonna change all three of these. Then there is also one that's in the back. So you climb under the truck, and it is right there. I'm gonna replace that one too. All right, here's what we got for tools. 1/2 inch ratchet and wrench I used. Could probably use a little impact if you wanted. Some adjustables. I find those helpful for the air fittings. 3/8, that's for the air pressure sensor. Just some dikes for cutting the zip ties for neatening up the airlines after. I use the Dremel with this little, I don't know what you call it, the end for cleaning up all the fittings that I reused. Ratchet extension. Marker for marking stuff. 11/16 and 3/4 for some of the fitting sizes. Thread tape. This big 1 7/16 wrench for the end of the 3-way check valves. The new ones weren't really tight, and I didn't know if they were supposed to stay that way, so I didn't want them rotating when I was putting the new fittings in. Then some soapy water for testing for leaks afterwards. Some big zip ties for securing it, and that should be what you need. Here's the 4 right here. These are a 3-way check valve. This is the piece of the box right here. The boxes were pretty beat up by the time I got them. I bought these surplus from eBay. You might want to get new fittings. I've had pretty good luck just reusing the old fittings and stuff like that. There is also a Bendix part number. These are a Haldex part. I did get 2 of them, but I wanted them all to match. I may end up using them in the future, but I'm going to share that part number, at least the NSN tag here for you, in case you wanted to go with those, just for informational purposes, in case you find those for a better deal. All right, before I actually get started on removing all this stuff, I'm probably going to work my way up. I'm going to number each one. So that way, in case I get things mixed up, and I'm also going to take a picture so I can see like the orientation of everything. I'm wondering if I should also label which line is going where here. I mean, like these little short ones are going to be pretty obvious, but like I could label this even just like 1-1. Maybe that's what I'll do. right, got them all finished up and double checked with the pictures I took to make sure the orientation of all the fittings and stuff are good. Definitely make sure you have something to hold this brass part of the fitting on these new ones, because I noticed as I was tightening these on, these aren't super tight, and I'm assuming they're not supposed to be. I don't really have any install instructions on these. I didn't want to like crank them down and have it clamp too hard on something. I guess I'll find out if there's going to be a leak. I didn't want them to move from the position that they were in. Going to work on reversing what I did and just putting them back in. All right, got everything hooked up. I did not refasten the lines and stuff. And in the process, one of the lines I kind of kinked. I think you could see one of the kinks kind of right there. If that causes me a problem, I will fix it. All right, about 4 minutes and 30 seconds to the air dryer purge. Very standard for the truck. So park and brake still engaged. Let me turn my lights off so you don't have to hear that beep. See if it disengages. Still disengaged kind of slow. All right, gonna start working on the back here now. I don't think I'm really gonna need to label these airlines and stuff. They all seem pretty straightforward. Like once I loosen them and taking them off, they should be obvious where they go. All right, I just finished doing the rear check, aired the truck up. I didn't check it for leaks yet, but I'm just gonna functions test. Oh, that freaking releases way faster. What do you think, Mac? You wanna go for a ride up and down the road real quick? What do you think, good fix? I think so, hopefully. All right, off camera, I did the leak test with bubbles and stuff, and nothing back here. It seems like out of the 4, the culprit was the one that's back here on the cross member for me, that 3-way check. What was causing my sticky delay, but time will tell. Because right after I changed that one and did the test, it seemed like almost immediately when I released that valve, the park brakes released faster than the truck has ever released before. Anyway, that's that. One of those 4 might be your problem, and hopefully that was it. And it's one more thing checked off that is not going to give me a problem on the truck. All right, that's a wrap for this update video. Went a little bit longer than I wanted it to, but that was the most I could compress the information down to. Hopefully the information was helpful. Let me know in the comments either way. And I should have another update video out very soon since I have a whole bunch of stuff already recorded. Thanks for watching.